Testing, testing. Hello everyone, my name is Ethonra, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. So, this one is very sloppy. I was trying to debate on which one I was going to do, and by the time I made up my mind, I realized that was a poor decision. I should have just went ahead and streamed it. But the reason why I chose not to stream it is because I can concentrate better without having to talk, as I've demonstrated in the past before. And I'm playing as a healer, my worst job. So let me just catch you up to speed right quick. I did do the first half of this, the 85 and 86. I'll upload them. Well, let me not say that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, because I almost don't care, because it's going to be a job that I will never play seriously. But to catch you up to speed, basically, we're doing the healer Blasphemy first, because I just said healer's my worst role, so I want to just get out the way. And I was going to make it just its own video, but then like I said, I forgot you can do these at level 85. So if I did that, chances are it'll take me longer than an hour to finish. And the video max amount of time is an hour. And I don't want to break this part up into like 3 different parts. So I decided I'll just stream it. But I will stream them separately. Like this will be for healer, the next one will be for tank, and then the next one will be for melee DPS. And then in the far-flung future will be physical DPS. And maybe magical. I don't remember if the DPS melee and magic one need to be specific or not. I feel like they will be, but I'll check when I head back. So oh, I guess this is also worth mentioning, because this, as far as I know, isn't actually isn't actually a loophole. Remember, you can do this as 85, where the level is well within range. Now, if we get to level 90, then I'll just have to make the assumption that the Warrior of Light deals with this before taking care of Endsinger, you know? Because that only makes rational sense, because how can there still be blasphemies when the Endsinger is no more? It literally can't happen. So that's my explanation for why this is still going on, even though technically Zio has already taken care of the issue. Personally, I would say that's a good idea, because again, didn't record this. Well, I did, but not for the stream. I already forgot her name, because I don't bother pronouncing it out loud. But anywho, she was one of the skulls, like the lieutenant to Xenos back when he was still a samurai. And of course, she's killed many people, mostly Alamegans. And of course, they resent her for it. That has come full circle now, to where she's long since regretted it, of course, but it's come full circle now where the people that were with the skulls are the most likely to transform into beasts. And so what happened earlier was she and I, or Zio rather, were sent over to this village to get a feel of the situation, and there was a person there that recognized her, and the despair and fear caused him to transform because of her. So if she was never there, he would have transformed. So personally, I would say, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Because she already tried to make amends. We saw what happened. But at the exact same time, as long as she can, you know, keep herself under control, as in not succumb to her own despair, like you just read that she nearly did, and maybe, I don't know, give her a bag or something to wear over her face, then yeah, she deserves a chance to make amends. Funnily enough, similar to that situation with Zio on this subway train, where she was helping out the people and that one guy couldn't even recognize who she was because he couldn't see. Then to come and find out, oh, Zio, the Imperial nuisance, enemy of the Garlean Empire. But you saved my life, so clearly you're cool. She could do the same thing, just wear a mask. Not a skull mask, but a mask. With a mask. Yeah, because you're an Alamegan too. Oh, and again, for like the third or fourth time, healer is my worst job. Like, my reaction time, I would say, is relatively good, but I'm so not used to these controls, even now, that there have been times where I press the wrong button or simply mess up to where I had to rearrange some things. But yeah, this is the gear she has, so if you needed any more proof, there you go. Oh, I should also talk about this. Last night, Christmas, funnily enough, I was able to log in just fine. I don't know if they've actually fixed it now or if that was a genuine Christmas miracle, but usually around 7, 8, 9, whatever, the queue is basically 4,000, and there's no way you're getting back in for the night. Not unless you plan to stay up to like 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that was really interesting to me. It makes me wonder if they fixed it or if it was a Christmas miracle. Either way, I thought it was cool that it happened on Christmas. I almost became a mentor. Well, I'm going to try to be a mentor today. They made it harder because now you have to do these. I believe I might have mentioned that in my stream and how much I hate that, because I hate being forced to do something I don't want to do. I understand, basic healer, tank, DPS. Get them to max level, fine. Have them have a little story mission, also fine. But they're making it so you have to play every type of role. That I don't like. I like the Shadowbringer ones better, or it was much more forgiving. Where all you needed was a DPS, a healer, and a tank. I think melee and magical. Yeah, melee and magical. This one, it's melee, magical, ranged physical, one addition, then healer and tank. But don't worry, that's not ultimately worth griping over too terribly much, just a small annoyance. Speaking of something else I thought was kind of annoying, well, not necessarily annoying, but it brings up how I told you Endwalker feels like it's making things more dramatic than they need to be. Why is Arnvald in a wheelchair when we have healers? As far as I can remember, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, so be it. But as far as I can remember, his spine was only damaged. That should be healable, no problem. I know. Your nerves and stuff. But still, many of the spells in-game, lore-wise, tell you they cause cellular regeneration. So repairing nerve cells should be no big deal. Now, why does Raban not have an arm anymore? I would still say more or less the same reason. You'd think he'd have a mechanical arm. That'd be kind of nice. But Arnvald being in a wheelchair, I feel like is something they did just to make it more dramatic, because it doesn't make much sense. The only way I could forgive it would be if it was like when he was attacked by Lunar Ifrit. Something about that creature's ether seeped into his spoon. I said spoon. I was trying to say spine and wound at the same time. In his wound that just happened to be in his spine, and somehow that etheric disturbance made it so his nerves aren't responding there like they're supposed to, hence the wheelchair. It's more magic based than physical, which, okay, I can kind of forgive why it wouldn't work. But then by that same token, wouldn't destroying the towers, which we did, remove the etheric disturbance, hence healing him? Just something to think about. Either way, it feels like he shouldn't be in the wheelchair, but drama, so. Yeah, you should do that. Really, Papa John? Again? Just like when Zio and her met for the first time? She gave me quite the child at times. Case in point, seriously, all over Eorzea, is Arnival the only one to ever need a wheelchair? Because I cannot think of another I almost said wheelbarrow. Why am I having such trouble talking? Shit. Wheelchair bound person in the entire game. I don't know why that was so hard. I was thinking just last night, or this morning, whatever, that I might have some kind of speech impediment. Because, I don't know, for some reason, whenever I'm streaming, my speech just drops like a second grade level. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do kind of know why. It might have something to do with some kind of subconscious nervousness. Yeah, see, I can talk and use big words like that just fine, but I can't say wheelchair bound. Alright, let's see where Lady Lilyrot is. That can't be right. Must have clicked on something on accident. There we go. And that's the Sapphire Avenue. I keep forgetting I don't have to do that. Might as well be a catchphrase for me now. Just put it on a t-shirt and sell it. See how rich I become overnight. I'm just gonna give it a second to let things load in case there's another character around, like Lilyrot poking her head out from behind a corner or something. Oh, this should be fun. Raban. I think that's how I pronounce his name. It's been a while. Old habits die hard, huh? Is that a Lalafell joke? Has she actually done that before? Maybe she's just not here. Oops. See, I didn't expect that to go so fast. Hold up. What do you say? Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, it is. Yeah, who can blame you? You're not her employee anymore. Well, not as her official bodyguard, at least. I mean, Zeal's more than capable of taking care of herself, but definitely doesn't hurt to have someone as imposing as Raban shadowing her. Oop. Okay, yeah, I was going the right way. Usually I don't bother walking the back alleys, since there's nothing really back here but a few NPCs and the Reaper hideout. That's nice. Now look who it is. That's what I said. I guess that's the official. Lalafels will not be getting their own here Highlander mounts. Too bad, so sad. The dream is dead. Oh, I was thinking, I really hope at some point in the future they do let us have Gaius's Gunblade. Like, I've been wanting that thing pretty much ever since I first saw it, let alone when Gunbreaker came out. And then when Gunbreaker did come out, I thought for sure we would get it, but still nothing. So, man, I really want that Gunblade. Preferably dyeable. Doesn't have to be, but I would like it to be dyeable. I believe also these missions are one per level, and you can do them at 85. This is 87, so what, 3 left? I knew you were gonna pop up. I hate that outfit's not available anymore. I don't know how to get it, because the dungeon that used to drop it doesn't drop it anymore, so... Overqualified. Oh, that's interesting. I know both of those people. In my spare time, maybe not yesterday, but the day before that, I actually went to go talk to them. Yeah, that's true. That should be interesting. Excuse me. was here like just the other day. Yeah, for real. Because I'm like, dude, you didn't even bother to read the rest of the letter. So, and I know there are certain situations you can do things like that where you don't need to fill it out to get the gist. But considering the gravity of the situation, I think you should. Matter of fact, I'll go as far to say, even if you can guess what the likelihood of whatever it is the situation is related to, you should still at least hear it out. Yeah, see, both of these are pretty much the same answer, and there's a good reason for that. But this one's more of a heartfelt kind of response. Yeah, see? Now, if an NPC can acknowledge that, then surely the rest of us can. Well, that's reassuring. Though I know for a fact that he can handle these people completely fine. And Makotes have very interesting familial ties. Yeah, maybe not. I wouldn't know. What, you didn't read it either? I'll make this one a bit more personal. Now that's something I do give credit to Final Fantasy for, something I personally like a lot. Well, that's good. I do like how they go about their view on war and the monsters it breeds. It's like the classic saying goes, every story has two sides. Every coin has two sides. So despite them wanting to paint these, like, heck man, I just said it. The Ascians thought they were pure evil. They weren't. The Garleans, people view them as being pure evil. Sure, most of their soldiers were absolute scumbags, but one of the ones who stand out the most, Gaius, he was misled, but he was not evil. And then there's the citizenry, whatever. They didn't go around, we'll say, befouling the lands and people that they conquered. They were just citizens. Maybe a bit uppity, but still citizens. So I do like how they talk about that. Now, as far as the etc. is unforgivable, that is what I do disagree with. I don't believe anything is unforgivable. It'll take time and patience, and you actually have to try. If you just shut it down, then yeah, of course. But it is within everyone to forgive. That I do believe. I was actually expecting him to wheel himself away after that, but then I forgot. They didn't give him that animation, so. Also, I couldn't help but notice, was the wheels of his chair actually made out of wood? They have rubber in Eorzea. That's not like secret Garlean technology. Why are the wheels made of wood? I guess they figure if a chocobo cart could do it, a wheelchair can do it. See? That was a good speech. I like that ending. There's also something pretty smart too, is try to save your important points last, because people typically remember the last thing they heard better than the first. So that was kind of a good ender. I saw they were still talking there, but still. Also, speaking of Garleans, there's something about them I want to comment on. Probably do it in just a second, because this mission is about wrapped up. And there's the word I was trying to pronounce. Fordola. I knew her name started with an F and had like a R and a D in it. Just couldn't remember it. That didn't take long. Right on the money. Is it Fordola? Yep. Again, right on the money. You know she nearly succumbed to a transformation, and you just said you've known she's been acting strange, and you didn't tell anybody? Anyway, I was thinking about the Garleans and Emmett Selk and all that, because I think it was kind of mentioned in the story somewhere, or you were given the option to say something like how the Garleans are his family, and he rejects that because he wants his Ascian family back, or ancients, or whatever their race was called, the first civilization, whatever. I was just thinking about like Xenos and stuff. No duh kind of comment for those who probably didn't think about it, but Xenos by blood is actually related to Emmett Selk. Same thing for Varys. On that note, it made me think just how deep does that bloodline run? Like, is he the father of all the Garleans, or did he simply swoop in onto what would eventually... No, no, because he would have to be, because he had the Garlean third eye. I was trying to think. Yeah, so no matter how you look at it, he would have to be a progenitor of the Garleans. So the Garleans would be his family. But like I said, I think that is brought up in the story, and he declines it, doesn't accept it. Well, I'd like to think that Zio and her are friends, but I'll let them handle that. Maybe not necessarily we, more like you, but still. Yeah, this is... Just want to point out again how selective the transformations are. A little girl didn't succumb to that kind of fear. I hope for Dorla will be okay. Obviously, when she had her echo powers, that made it even more obvious she was going to be an important character. So I'd hate for her story to fall short now. I'm pretty sure you have told her that, and it changed nothing, so... Oh, that reminds me, speaking of things that I know have been said, but make no sense now, is the Laporits. One of my favorites, actually probably arguably my favorite, is one called Dreaming Way. Dreaming Way I think is really cool because for a Laporit he's not, you know, Looney Tunesy bouncing off the walls and running into stuff and things like that. He's actually pretty level-headed. He's a hard worker, and anytime he's not helping somebody with something, he's off looking for work to do to help somebody else. So he's just an all-around really cool Laporit. And, oops, I meant to talk to Raban, but the marker didn't move. Whatever. Dang it. That's obviously not worth resetting the entire quest over, but I really hate that happened, because I moved the analog stick, but it didn't move, so when I pressed X, it just interacted with him. Anyway, Dreaming Way, again, trying to help him find, ironically, his dream, his specific thing, and it turns out he doesn't really have one, because he seems to be more of a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. Because he can literally do anything. Anything the other Laporits need him to do, he can do it. And to me, that makes him special. Because even though he downplays it a lot, it's like, oh, you know, most Laporits can do this, most Laporits can do that. You seem to be the only one that excels at anything you do. I think at least 2 other Laporits even say as much, that anything he does is excellent. He doesn't fall short no matter what the task is. Warrior of Light, Laporit, if you will. So, it turns out the dream he eventually has is to make music and inspire people through music, which ordinarily I'd be okay with if it wasn't for the fact that Singing Way exists. And didn't Urianger pretty much straight up say there are more ways to do what you're doing than just singing? You know, music. So Dreaming Way went from, I'm a wild card, I'm a joker, I can do anything perfectly fine, something actually unique, to I'm just going to be Singing Way 2.0. That I kind of hate. You're not really good at asking questions when it comes to searching for people, are you? That's a unique walk cycle. Either a very brave or very foolish man to be swinging a pickaxe that hard, that close to the rock, with minimal protection. Yeah, not even goggles. See, they keep saying Gaius, but I could have swore they work for Xenos. So, obviously the Lupi, wolf, makes more sense for Gaius, the Black Wolf. But I thought they were more associated with Xenos, considering, you know, her being his second in command. Maybe they were Gaius's, and then when Gaius left, Xenos took over. That would make more sense. That would make sense, at least. I'm glad they didn't tell him what actually happened. Because if they had told him his ultimate fate, which we're pretty sure what it is, he probably wouldn't be as talkative. Yeah, gonna have to tell him sooner or later. Otherwise, he'll be left waiting forever. Closure is important, even if it's painful. Sorry about that. This is taking more energy out of me than I thought. Like, I'd be enjoying it more if I was like my tanker DPS, so bear with me. As if we don't already know. Then again, I don't think Ragnarfrid was there for that conversation. Alright, looks like we're about to finally wrap this up. Wise old man indeed. Well, it probably would have been nice if you mentioned, you know, she was acting strange for a few days. hopefully can do this in the first try. Oh, he's ready for battle. There's also a good opportunity to talk about that replacement arm I mentioned earlier, but I'll do it after the cutscene. I don't think she's going to listen, so... Whoops. My finger slipped for that one. It's kind of funny it got cut off, too. Oh, that was a solid snake game over scream if I've ever heard one. So, yeah, hopefully this will go smooth. I know, lover boy, I know. Curious that it actually ran away. That goes to show some of him still remains. Not enough to make any significant difference, but still. I'm probably not item level 550, so we shall see. But I think it'd be cool if Raban got a... Because, again, Garland Ironworks, a new arm, is basically begging to become a thing. Oh, kneecap kick. It's moments like that that made me forget Raban. Raban is superhumanly strong. Like he really is. But as far as I know, his strength is all natural, not any kind of magical or surgical augmentation, what makes it even more impressive. good old peer pressure. Mob mentality. That was a pretty nice timed eagle cry. Rolling in action. Assisted, of course. I'm not sure what the U2 Fordola... Oh, okay. I guess it's supposed to be tying these two together. Instead of it just being for him, it's for her too, so... Ooh, triumph. Sorry. Well, essentially got two tanks on my team, so what's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. Oh, there's that eagle again. So now for those of you who have forgotten, you get to hear the glory of the first banger dungeon theme. Boss fight dungeon thing. You know what I mean.
As one!
There's my controller effing up again. I guess I pretty much called this too because it's happened before, obviously. But whenever my controller just, when I'm trying to heal, I just randomly stop, is because it's picking up minute movements of the analog stick. It really sucks. Oh, don't worry. I'm a healer that actually remembers I have that spell. I'm not that bad. Something else I forgot. It takes like a dog's age for, It takes a dog's age for the level 90 move, Liturgy of the Bell, Liturgy, whatever, to come back. It's basically like hollowed ground in terms of time limit. It's really big. I don't think it really needs to be. Unless it has some kind of hidden effect I'm unaware of.
Show them what we're made of!
That's another thing, because of how I have my filter set up, healing is also a much more difficult job. Worked a bit too well. Oh, that's lame. Oh, that's so lame. I wasn't sure if it would actually work or not, so I wanted to try it. But, yeah, I should have just ran backwards anyway, then tried it. I'll go and tell you right now, though, I swear to you that's not going to happen for the tank and DPS part. Alright, let's go, you big bastard.
As one! them what we're made of! Ethonra!
Oh, cool. Oh, it's a DPS race, huh?
Try this!
Yeah, I do a little bit better when I'm not talking. I didn't have time to explain it because I was too busy doing it right this time, but I actually had two ideas going off in my head at the same time, where I was going to use the knockback to get knocked out of the AoE, but I had used Surecast to where I couldn't be moved, plus I was unsure if it would actually work or not, because so far the game only lets you know if a move is silenceable, not if it's actually stunnable or can resist the knockback. So, but yeah, obviously it still comes down to my fault. It was just being stupid. That's a really sweet sentiment. Too bad it's not real, but I appreciate the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Implication? No, that's not right. That's nice, though. That's genuinely cool. But yeah, remember, they told us that anyone who turned into those beasts, there is no afterlife for you. You're just gone. So, sorry to bring down the moment, but hey, they're the ones who made the stakes so high and then give us a scene like that. I do like that music though, and speaking on the topic of music, something I want to clarify is, well, I'll wait, because this is almost over. back to being Miss Too Cool to Care. I'm glad he mentioned that, because that's also true. A lot of people seem to not look at that point. And when I say a lot of people, I don't mean real life people, though I'm sure some have, but I meant mostly the ones in game forget that these people didn't just join the Garleans. It was more like their parents did for the sake of their children, and then their children were ostracized for something that was not their fault, and then that made them join Garlemald as well. But the Alamegans never bring that up, so I'm glad Ravon did. Alright, where are the others? I know they're there. Really? Alright. I like this one. Yes. Oh no, surely there are definitely better healers. Friends? Eh. But there's plenty of better healers than Zio. Okay, this will be actually a good time to do it, especially if the music happens to be playing. I don't think it will here, because it's like a city, but I was probably a little harsh, just a little, with Endwalker's music, because not too much of it clicked with me, not a lot. And it brings up the hypocrisy that I brought up back in Shadowbringers, which for whatever reason they seem to be doing even more so with Endwalker. Remember how I told you with Stormblood, because people just want to hate on that for any reason they can. They hated Stormblood, and one of the reasons was how all the music was the same, that it played everywhere or some such nonsense. Okay, fine. That's why you hate it? Fine. So then why is it when Shadowbringers does the same thing, they actually do it worse, because they went back to change some of the boss music to a remix of the Shadowbringer Final Dungeon boss music. No one complained. Not a one. Except for me, you know, someone who's not a poser. But yeah, no one really complained about it. Okay. Endwalker did that as well, but worse, because I've been listening to it. Now, again, some of the music is really good, the ones I actually hear. I couldn't hear most of it because, you know, headset. But when I actually took my time and played around and listened, yeah, some of it is pretty good. But at the exact same time, some zones actually share the same music, and I cannot remember anywhere that happens aside from Endwalker territories. Stormblood didn't do that. I'd like to throw that out there. Shadowbringers didn't do that either. So I find it funny how the whole, oh, Stormblood bad because same repetitive music. Shadowbringers does the same thing even more, but won't complain. Endwalker 2, not even mentioned. Just saying. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all they really needed. Alright, so next is going to be Gunblade, or Gunbreaker. But before I do that, I'm going to take care of a quick errand. And something else I wanted to look at to demonstrate that point, because I said I would look. Okay, right here. Melee DPS, i.e. Reaper. That's fine, I can do that. Magical range DPS, Red Mage. Can work on that. I think this is the one I'm going to hate the most. Physical range DPS. Because, look, this is all I got. So you're telling me I gotta go another what? Another 30 levels just to do this? For a class that I don't even care about, even less so than healer? That's what I mean. I hate being forced to do something I don't want to do. And you could make the argument whether I'm forced or not. But let's look at who I am. I like the story. I like the lore. So, am I forced to do it or am I not? Be that as it may. Thank you all for tuning in, and see you around.